Hey class, this is JP and good afternoon everybody. After we finished our first session on Saturday, which was really awesome, I mean we got snowed out, things were rough, and we still managed to get most of the people there. So that's really awesome. I'm glad for those who made it. For those who didn't make it, don't sweat it. We are going to have plenty of opportunities for you guys to get caught up. And frankly, we didn't really do a whole lot in class. As you guys know, our format is more of a come together, work through what we've learned during the week kind of approach. So please don't be discouraged if that's you. But just I wanted to extend a great thank you to everybody who's participating and those who are coming. I did want to talk about just a couple of items, maybe for those who were not there, and just a little refresher. There were a few tools that I mentioned during the session where we got together that are going to be really helpful and I think important for success in this class. And the first thing is actually, I've got this up here on my screen, is this website here, dailydoseofgreek.com. This right here is all of the class lecture material. It is possible to succeed just by reading the textbook, but you really are going to want to watch these videos. Dr. Plummer is a master teacher. He taught me Greek. He taught Pastor Charles Greek. And you're going to benefit really greatly from using his lecture videos. They're all here and they correspond exactly to the chapters we'll be working on. So I would say these are essentially mandatory, but I just wanted to show you. This is dailydoseofgreek.com. So if you were just to go, you were to Google Daily Dose of Greek, you would be taken to the Daily Dose website. And then just right up here in the corner where it says learn, you just click on that. And that's how you get to this. I've sent out a link to that as well. And so you'll find this very helpful. There are lots of resources here on this website. You can see there's student downloads, there's stuff for practice exercises, there's vocabulary, there's all kinds of things that will help you. There's even a OneNote notebook, which is the one that he uses in his lectures, he makes available, and some other stuff here, including Anki flashcards. And these flashcards are the ones that I mentioned. Anki, which is this app right here. This is what it is, that ugly little blue star. It's what you want. Anki is a powerful tool for memorization. I mentioned it in class. It's designed to take advantage of how human beings remember and forget things. So I strongly suggest you utilize this. I mean, it's possible. There are other tools that you can use. There are flashcards and other resources that are keyed to this textbook that we're using, beginning with New Testament Greek. You can find those on Amazon. But I like Anki a lot. You can download it right here, get it for Windows or for Mac, and you can make an account. It's Anki Web right here. That's what this is about. You can make an account here. And when you do this, you can actually sync across devices. So Anki can talk to other computers. It could talk to your smartphone or laptop or what have you. The iPhone app is $25. I think it's worthwhile, but you don't have to have it. It's free on desktop and it has all sorts of great features. And so you can get the Windows edition down here and you can sign up for it here. And then, of course, if you are on the Daily Dose website, you can come on down here to Anki Vocabulary Flashcards. And this contains all the vocabulary. And right here, there's a little link where it says the author has shared one other item. If you click on here, you can also get to the paradigms and flowcharts and things that you need to memorize that are in the textbook. If you do download Anki, let me go ahead and boot up my copy as well. Here, if we do boot up Anki, you can see I have a whole bunch of different vocabulary words. There is a website that I linked to in the emails called Refold. These guys are experts in kind of helping people learn languages. And this will go through how to set up Anki to make usage of all these things. It's a little bit of a longer read, and it's not designed for Greek, of course, but I think it's helpful. And he will go through kind of how to work through like what the best settings are for Anki. And if you wanted to, you could skip right down to the recommended options settings page and you go right down here and then I would do these things. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about this daily limits section. So let me show you something horrifying. So I have an Anki deck here and there's 3 columns in Anki. There's cards that are new, which will be indicated in blue. So that's how many you can learn each day. Here's how many you are still trying to learn. So if you started it and didn't finish, it'll be marked here in red. And then due. This column here refers to all of cards that you need to review, and they're in green. And they accumulate day by day. You see this deck here with 695. That would mean before I'd be considered done with the session for the day, I'd have to review 700 cards. That's a lot of cards. Nobody has patience for that. And so sometimes with these larger Anki decks, like the one we have for our class, you'll notice there's no little plus sign here. If I click this down, one of the decks I made, see where Advanced Greek is, I have these little sub decks that are built in, right? and they each have certain things to review. This kind of makes it bite size, right? If I wanted to just like start picking back up on this flashcard deck, I could start here with an easy one like Psalm 1 and learn these 7 words and continue going back. But when you get these decks that are like these ones that don't have the chapter breaks, you can end up with gigantic piles like this right here. And that could be overwhelming. Like if you fall behind, you might be like, oh my goodness, I do not want to do any more of this, right? You might just feel overwhelmed, or how the heck am I ever going to catch up? Well, if you go to your settings option, so you see this little gear options, you see just like here we have that daily limits option, and you can choose custom settings for this deck, for just today, or preset for the entire Anki app. So I could go, like for example, I have this German deck here from April Wilson's book German Quickly, and I have a special preset for this deck, because if I were to do the standard setting there, I would have 243 German cards to review today. And that's very difficult to learn under those conditions. So if I were to start back up, I'd probably just make it 100. 100's a lot. It's kind of my upper limit for one deck. And so you can tweak that. You can also change the amount of new cards per day. And so if you do use this one here for paradigms, this one right here, it could be in your best interest to limit the new cards per day on this deck to some number 5 or under, kind of following what you're capable of. Some of you may find it's easy, you can glide through it, but these individual cards are not just going to be one vocabulary word. Like for example, if we come here to the one for just the vocabulary, we should have the word agape and the definite article there. Agape, and just the word for love, right? Boom. See, I got that easy. Now, if we come over to this one for the paradigms and flowcharts, we have the first declension noun eta pattern. That's a whole lot of information. You guys haven't covered this yet, but you will very soon. And that's a lot of information to remember in one card. So it can be kind of difficult to do all of that in one sitting. So you may want to tweak these settings. And there's some other things down here, some other settings you should check on down here. And the article goes into detail on that. But I wanted to share that with you because I think it's really helpful to know. One of the other things I want to point your attention to is my YouTube channel. As you can see, this is not a fancy YouTube channel. I have no aspirations. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you're on the YouTube channel, but this is where I'll be posting these. We'll have a playlist for MVBC Greek. You'll see this video in that playlist. And there's some of my old Sunday school stuff in here if you guys care about that. I don't really care. But this is just helpful. I'm going to try to post things here. The other thing is Discord. This app, you can get it at discord.com. You can download it. And then if you follow the link that I sent out, it will take you to Discord itself, which we have right here. This is the Mountain View Discord channel I set up here for us for our weekly lessons. I'm trying to keep this as sort of a bulletin board, but you can also use this to attend class virtually. So if you missed class one day, you could jump into one of these voice channels, right? So if we jumped in here, now I'm in the voice channel, right? And then when I'm in here, and I may do this in class, I can turn on my webcam. Now you'll see me multiple times, or actually it probably won't work because my webcam's in use by the recording app, but I can do things like share my screen, right? And so you'll be able to see what I'm seeing if you're not here. So it's going to be very beneficial.